This video is a brief overview of the flow of work between the tenant, the property manager, and the vendor. The tenant submits a work request, the property manager sees that work request, approves, and assigns it to an employee as a work order. The work order is sent to the vendor. The vendor sees the work order in the email, and the vendor responds. So let's see how this works in the system. So what I will do is I will go log into the system as a tenant. And what you see over here is what we call our dashboard view. And this is the calendar within the dashboard view, and each highlighted day in the calendar represents the work that's required on the day. If I scroll down, I can see all the different work requests that Joe Blow has created. So what I'm going to do is create a new work request, and I'm going to, the system will automatically find the building that Joe Blow is located in. My problem with the doors, locks, and keys, the urgency is moderate, and I need to select the unit within that building, which is integrated control systems, and we have a problem with door and lock. Once I do that, I hit the create button, and once that's done, I can actually look at the work order that's been created. I just chose another one which is similar. And what I want to do over here to help the property manager is attach a picture of what my problem is. So I'm going to hit the browse button here. That's what I want. Upload it to my work order. That's done. So my work order number is 714-3. What I want to do right now is go and log in as a property manager in the system. So the property manager is a gentleman called S. Massey. You can see his title as property manager here. Again, he's got the dashboard view. And what he is now going to look for is the work order that was created, the work request that's come into a system, 714-3. You can see the problem has come across. We need a new door, lock, and key. It's come across from Joe Blow, who is a tenant from ICS. Every event is date stamped. The pictures come across. What I want to do now is, it came across as an unassigned work order, but I've now assigned it to S. Massey. So the work order has been assigned to S. Massey by myself. What I want to show you is two different ways of adding notes. We can add, the messaging system in EWO is very powerful. So what I want to do is say this is a public note. And everyone can see that. I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it as a public note. Then I want to say this note is not visible to the tenant. I'm going to add that as a private note. That's got a little key indicator against it. So this means that I can then determine which notes that I'm adding here should be visible to the tenant and which ones should not be visible to the tenant. So once I've looked at what my problem types are and I've made a decision on what I need to do to proceed with this, I'm going to assign this to a vendor. So I'll put in a vendor request. And again, we have role mapped all the vendors to the problem types that they have the authority to work on. So I'm going to choose, and so this is only going to bring me up vendors who have authority to work on doors, locks, and keys. So I'm going to send it to a guy called Aussie Fix It All. I said, hello, Aussie. Please fix this problem. And I click the send button, and it's gone off to that vendor. Now that vendor, I have added my email address to that vendor's setup. So when I go across here, I can see that, first of all, I see that work request has gone to the vendor. Here's a vendor called Aussie Fix It All. It says here, hello Aussie, please fix this problem. The problem has come across with the picture. That whole picture is visible to the vendor. So the vendor sees all the information that's come across from the easy work order system. So vendor makes a decision that he's going to fix it. So what he will do over here is click here to reply. Again, the problem description is mentioned over here. So what he says is that, thanks, I will fix the problem. Be there in 2 days. And he hits the send button. So once he does that, I am going to get out of the system and then log back in. Sometimes it takes a little while for the system to respond. I'm going to log back in as Massey. And I'm going to look at (71413). And now if you look at the vendor notes, you will see that this is the message that was sent out to the vendor. Hello Aussie, please fix this problem. Here's the response that I got from the vendor. Vendor Aussie Fix It All replied to this request as follows. Thanks, I will fix the problem. Be there in 2 days. Now I can continue with my messaging system, but as I said, the only message that the tenant will see is this one over here, because that hasn't got the key symbol. My date stamps are all being updated, and once this is done, once the vendor comes across and fix it, I can then go across and hit my actions button, and I can either close the work order if all the financials are done. If the financials aren't done, I can mark the work order as completed and wait till the rest of the work is done before I close it. So I can either complete the work order or I can close it. And in the meantime, if I go and across and look at my emails, you can see over here when 713 changed the status over here. The work order has been assigned to S. Massey. 713, we need a new door lock and key. That's when he sent the message first. This is the vendor response. Thanks, I'll fix the problem, be there in 2 days. So all the notifications are sent back via email also. Thank you. I hope that that's been helpful.